Hello, buddy. Welcome to my channel. I hope you are doing good. So, in this video, we are going to talk about cache and for what purpose we use cache and how to implement caching with the Spring Boot application. So, we'll see one by one. Okay. So, before all of that, let me give you a simple overview of cache. Okay. So here currently I'm on the uh, caching document provided by Spring.io. CRL they provide a lot of information about caching and how to implement with the Spring Boot application. But before simplicity, I'm going to give you a simple overview. Caching actually used to cache the data which actually frequently used by the user. Okay, and so that in order to avoid the hitting the database every time user call the API. Okay. I think you understand what I'm trying to say now. Let me give you so in this document, if you go through, then if you let me scroll down, if you see here in Spring Boot actually provided, there are so many provider to cache your data, such as generic Jcache. Jcat itself support multiple cache provider. Okay. But in this video, we are going to see how to implement with Redis. Since we are interested in Redis, so we will see with Redis. For a simplicity, let me give you a simple overview with the picture things. Okay. Uh, if you see, this is your Redis server and this is your application and it is you. Let me give you color. And for example, your data actual data is stored into the your server. Okay, MySQL or Post SQL, whatever you have, and you use your application here, and you're calling an API every time, multiple times. For the first time, whenever you call your API to get your data, then it directly get into the Redis server. If it is find your data, then okay, it can directly fetch your data from here. Or else it will go into the database, fetch your data from, select your data from here, and then fetch it to the Redis server. Then Redis will cache those data and return to you. Okay. For the next time, whenever you call the same API, then it going to get all those data from the Redis server instead it going into MySQL. Okay, so likewise you can avoid the hitting the database every time you call the API. I think you understood what I'm trying to say. Okay, without time wasting, let's get into IntelliJ. So for uh, so I have already created a simple application. So in this application, I already developed some APIs for cart operation. Okay, you don't have to think overview. If I'm going to give this source code into my GitHub link, so from there you can download. So before all of that, let me tell you what are the dependency is needed to be achieve the caching. Okay, so first of all, you have to, since we are going to use Redis as a repository for caching the data, so we are adding the Redis dependency in our form XML. Then Redis, it is optional. It is total depend on you for Spring Boot starter cache. Okay, it's total depend on you. But if for but before that, if you do not familiar with Redis, then Redis is actually NoSQL database which actually store the data in a key values is. Okay, so if you want to know more about Redis, then I'm going to provide the link about Redis website in the description. You can go there, go and check out. Once you have added this dependency, then go open your application YML. Then okay, I already have added some my Postgres database related some properties. Then you have for Redis, you have to add one thing, cache. Okay. Then let's say my type is Redis. Then let's say cache name. I'm going to give it internal. Let's say cache one. Let's use another one, cache two. I think two is enough for now. Then Redis. Let's say time to live actually how long you want your data to be cached into the Redis server. Okay, let's say I'm going to use it for uh, one sec 1 minute is enough. Then cache, do you want to store the null values? I want going to provide this cache. If you do not want to cache the null values, then you can provide false. By default it is false, I think. Then what do you have to do? Use Redis connection. Redis here. Okay. Um, Redis username host. Means I'm going to run my Redis server locally. So my host is local. By default is 6379, I guess, if I'm not. Okay. So these are the configuration that you have to add it on your or the application environment file. Then what next you have to do? You have to add a simple application class. Let's say configuration class. Call it cache config. Cache configuration. Okay. Oh no, I don't want to get up. Let's say annotate this class with configuration. Annotation. Since this class going to take multiple bin methods, so you have to annotate this one. Also, you have to annotate enable caching. Okay. So this do not forget to use this and this annotation. Okay. This annotation actually indicate that you have enabled the caching. So whenever you call the API, that it will go for that you have annotated this method on a particular method or not. Okay. Now next what you have to do is let's configure the connection first. Let's say public Redis connection factory. Then connection factory. I'm going to use Lattice. Lattice, if you do not know about Lattice, Lattice is actually client of Redis server. Okay, so with the help of it is a thread safe Redis client. Also you can achieve synchronous or asynchronous transaction or operation with this client. Okay, so people there let me configure this one. Since I'm going to use Redis standalone server, standard configuration again, then new standard configuration. Okay, config, then host, set host. Oh, I missed something. Before all of that, I have to do one more thing. That's the bin. I have to call the Redis properties class. Properties method Redis properties. Okay, then property again. Inside this method, I'm going to return new Redis properties. Okay, let's call it primary. Now inside this one, let me call this properties. Then properties. Let's call this method properties method. Okay. Then first here properties dot get post. Then again configuration dot set port properties dot get port. Then simply return this. Return new letters connection factory inside just pass the configuration. I think I'm done. Oh, don't forget to annotate this class will be my bad. Then simply let me override the Redis template to public Redis template. My key will be string, value will be object. Then Redis template. Okay. Again call create a Redis template object here. String object template new Redis template. Then what template that connection factory I guess. Okay. Again template set key serializer. Okay. New JDK serializer ready serializer. Okay, this one. Then again template set value serializer new generic to string serializer. Okay, inside for the object class. Then simply return template to this template. I think I have done with all of this configuration class. Now simply go to your controller class. Okay, since let me open my controller. Okay, since it is my controller and all the return type is response entity, remember one thing. Response entity is not a serialization. Okay, it never return us the value as a serialization. So you have to. So if your return type is a response entity, then you have to override this method to cache the data. But I'm going to cache the data at service class. Okay, so for example, list I want to cache whenever any string cache. Okay, with the cache name. My cache name was okay cache one, and I want a key. Okay, let's say my key is hash. Let's say key. That is my key, cache key. So whenever I call this method at controller level, then it it actually check this it actually check into the Redis server in this following cache one cache names cache. If it found the data, then it going to return the data. It going to patch the data from the Redis server only. If the source data is not available at Redis server, then only it going to database, then return those data, then patch those data. Then Redis what Redis will do, it going to cache those data and then return to you on what that time. If what I try to say, if that after that time, if user call the same API, then it going to get the data from the Redis server only. It not go into the database, hitting the database every time. Okay, so likewise you can achieve the caching. So before all of that, let me run this class, this application. Come on, come on. Yes, my application has been started. So let me open Postman. Okay, my application started on port. Here's my API. Okay, okay. I need to check on control plus. My API is get user. Okay, user API user. Okay, API dot users must to be get method. Okay, let me hit on the setting. Send. What happened? Internal error. Oh shit. I forgot to run the Redis server. Okay. Let me run Redis server. Server. Okay, it's up and running. Let me rerun my application again. Also, I want to monitor my Redis server. Okay. Let's open this client. Redis CLI. Then simple monitor. Okay. Whatever operation happen into our Redis server, we can see that. My application has been started again. Let me call the same API. So this time it has fetched the data from the database. If you see it has taken time 2.68 second. If I call it one second time, it's going to take only 49 millisecond. How fast it is, how robust your application now. Let me monitor in Redis server 2. So if you see there are cache, since we have uh, used the cache one here at the method level service class with this following key the hash key. Okay, if you see here, stop here. with this following key and key. Okay, so this is how you can achieve cache into Redis into Spring Boot application. But you have to remember one thing. I also implemented uh, time to leave. So after 1 minute, it going to disappear or it going to remove. I mean, Redis will remove the cache after this particular time. Okay, if you want your data to store into Redis server for permanently, then you just simply uh, remove this class. Okay, or you can specify as long as you want your data to be stored into the database. Okay, so I think for more okay, let me give, if you want to perform the delete operation or add operation or update operation in Redis cache, then you can use Redis cache effect for I mean for delete, and cache port for posting or adding or updating your cache data information into the Redis cache. So for that reason, there is a lot of source available on internet. You can check out. Okay, I hope you have learned something. You got something. If you have learned something, or if it helped you in any way, then please subscribe my channel. Okay, and if you have faced any problem, then you can simply um, I mean, let me know in the comment section. Okay, I will try to answer you. Okay, and for the source code, I'm giving the GitHub link into the description. You can download from there. Okay, thank you for that, and thank you for watching my video, this video. Bye bye.